Okay, Christina here to listen to some music, and today's music selection is the continuation of my journey through Dark Side of the Moon. The third track, Time, by Pink Floyd. So yeah, we've been listening to the whole Dark Side of the Moon album, one track at a time, but I do it in very close succession. So far I've heard Speak to Me and Breathe in the Air, and then On the Run, and now we're on to Time. So I'm just letting each track sit just a little bit. I've explained this in the last two videos. It kind of soaks into my brain, into my consciousness just a little bit more. So we're taking our time, but also not, because I still want to get the full album experience. So thank you to everyone who is joining me on this experimental journey. So far, so good. So without further ado, enough talking. Let's listen to the next track. Okay, I am so ready for this. This album is already like taking up residence in my head here, and I keep hearing it like just throughout the day. And I'm just really excited to see where it's going, and it really is going somewhere. Someone's on the run. You could hear them running. So I'm going to back it up a little bit here. The end of On the Run. Got to hear these transitions. I know it's a segue here. I don't know how much of the album is going to continue to do that. We'll find out. But this is really exciting. And again, I have my little Pink Floyd shirt. See? Thank you, Celeste. Okay, here we go. Very excited. All right, I'm going to stop it there because I need to back it up and hear just a little bit of this again. Seamless transition. We're going from complete chaos to sort of this sparse atmosphere now. And it's very organized, by the clock. That's all I can think of is just chaos to order. But I don't know, with the heartbeat, there's a heartbeat in there. And then the clock, it was still making me feel kind of anxious. So this order, I don't know if it's a good thing. I don't know, but some of the tones, it almost sounds like it's in a major key, and I can't tell if it's ominous or not. Okay, let's back it up a little bit and see where this takes us.
run. You missed the starting gun.
Okay, I know I'm stopping in the middle of a guitar solo, but it did change there. In fact, it sounds like there should be words there, but it's the guitar carrying it. I'm hearing the oohs and the ahs of the chorus in the background. So I'm going to count that as sort of like the chorus coming back in. That was amazing so far. I was still really confused. I was really confused for a while because, again, do I trust what was happening there or not? I think I can trust it now, but at first I wasn't sure. So the time I caught just a little bit of the lyrics, and I'll look into those here in a little bit. I'm still just sort of reflecting on the initial sound of it all, though. Okay, so I think it has to do with maybe regretting letting time slip by or being afraid of time slipping by in the future, but I feel like that's where the angst is. The basis of that angst for this song. It's like someone trying to be comfortable, but they just can't be. There's just something like a dark cloud hanging over them, like time slipping by. Did I hear those words? I don't know. Okay, I even almost felt like the guitar was saying time. I'll have to go back and see that when this is all finished, but to me it just seemed so fitting. And the part that we just got to, like before the guitar solo with the vocal chorus, it was just heavenly. I think that's what I was waiting for in this song. I really like this track so far. All right, like I said before, we're going to back it up and catch some of this again. Here's some more of this guitar solo. It was awesome.
softly spoken magic spell.
Okay, and so now I think we're into the next track. Wow. That was fabulous. That is a track that I like the first time I heard it. I'm going to be listening to this for the next 24 hours or so. A lot. I already know. It's going to be on my playlist. It's going to, already. This is going to be my soundtrack for the next day or so until we get to the next track. All right, but first, right now, I want to reflect on just a couple of these musical aspects because they were fantastic. So I mentioned that it almost sounded like some of the guitars, this is towards the beginning of the song, to me, they were speaking the word time. It's not a lead guitar, like the bass guitar or maybe pedals. I don't know. Let's go back and see if we can catch that. I don't know. Is it just me? Or do you all feel like someone is saying the word time, time and then time? And I know there's almost like an echo, da-da, but there's something substantial about that musical statement. And so I'm sort of keeping the name of the track going in my head. Again, the lyrics and the title sometimes flies out of my brain because I'm focusing so much on the musical aspects. But I had the word time in my head, and as I was sort of reciting that in my own head, I heard this, and it just sort of seemed to overlap really well. And also that pedal or the bass guitar there, whatever, really took me by surprise. I really had no idea where this was going. That's the fun in this song, is that it transitioned directly from On the Run, which is really frantic. I mean, it ends with this giant explosion, like what in the world? And then this is more reflective. It's more existential. It's not an immediate crisis. And I think we need that. What a great mixed tape here. You know what I mean? You know how you have to put together or a good playlist and you get the songs just right. And this is the experience that I was hoping for, is seeing how these tracks are placed just in the right order and the right place, and how they flow from one to the next. This is just so much fun. So yeah, this is all about surprises. It's very surprising. There were a few moments even that I almost jumped, but then there were those moments of absolute beauty where I just wanted to melt, just like melt into my seat here, because it's that magic sound of Pink Floyd, just the right instrumentation mixed with just the right chord, and it's goosebumps and a little bit of tears just because it's so moving. It's so beautiful. Let's see if we can find that spot.
And you are young and life is long, and there is time to kill today. And then one day you find 10 years have gone behind you. No one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun.
Yeah, so it's those moments right there. That might not even have been the best one that I heard. I know it wasn't. There was one later on that grabbed me even more, but with those voices, and again, the solo voices are in thirds, so it's not just da da da, it's da 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 da. And then you hear those women's voices in the background, maybe just one, looped over the top. I don't know. If not, that's a whole lot of really talented ladies there in the studio with them. But there's something interesting going on. They're doing something with the women's voices. They're sort of warbled. At first I thought it was a really unique vibrato, but I was like, no, there's like an electronic filter on there or something that's making their voices, the voice, whatever that, the chorus, in the background kind of warbly. And I don't know, it's the thing of like, you don't have to know every last detail. Some of it you just want to see the magic and not see behind the curtain, So that might be one of those. Like if you notice it, I'm going to point it out now, but you don't have to notice it every time if you don't want to. Or maybe you're only noticing it because of the headphones. That is the other thing I've been noticing with these tracks is I'll play them on different devices, and it's really interesting what you pick up and what you don't, depending on what you're listening to it on. So that was actually a chat I brought up on Patreon recently. Like, what devices do you listen to all of your music on? And it's really interesting to hear all the different mixes. So with these headphones, they're old, but they still work really well. These old Sonys. I'm picking up a lot of these little details. It really is magic. So I want to move ahead a little bit. Of course, the guitar solo was amazing. When it came back in the chorus style, so when the background vocals, the women came back, that was just luscious. Like it really takes a talented guitarist to come back in a song where normally vocals should be, but they can carry it without the voices. Ugh, so fantastic. Do you hear that pitch bending? Do you hear it? It is just like the edge of emotion. It almost bends up and then fools you and doesn't. And he just rides on the sharp edge of that note. It is so much fun. Let's go back and hear it. So it just fools you. It's about to go sharp. Da 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 da. Let's see if we can catch that again. It's so cool. That's the one. Da 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 da. Oh. I gotta hear it again. And then he does it again there, but that time he does take us up to that upper note. Oh, it's so good. And even the notes in between there, he's sitting on the sharp side. It's just a little bit sharp, so a little bit higher than the actual key. Just riding that. So I don't completely understand necessarily why that is so driving, but it just is. And the other trick can be played where we kind of are a little under pitch, just a little bit on the flat side of things. And that can also bring out more emotions. But how he uses that. And who is this David Gilmour playing this? I mean, I'm assuming so, but I might be wrong, and it's okay because I'm still getting to know this time period for this band and all of the members in it, because it's not just all about Roger Waters and David Gilmour. There are other people in this band. So, I mean, I'm hearing them all. I hear the keyboards, I hear all the percussion, and of course the main vocals. But who is the soloist, the female soloist, though? She's got quite the voice, and we just barely got to hear her. So I'm hoping that comes back. Yes, later. Okay, so now I also want to, before we finish up here, I want to look up the lyrics. Ticking away the moments that make up a dull day. Okay, so then sun is the same in a relative way, but you're older, so time running away with you. Shorter of breath and one day closer to death. Yeah, so your life just kind of slips by. Every year is getting shorter, never seem to find the time. The time is gone. The song is over. Love these lyrics. Plans that either come to naught or half a page of scribbled lines. I love it. Yeah, so I'm basically going to stick with time flies by, whether or not you're having fun. Time can just slip by. So I just want to hear the ending again. And then, I'm so tempted to keep going, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to let this one sink in. We're going to do one at a time. All right, here's the ending.
Cold and tired. It's good to warm my bones beside the fire. Far away across the field, the tolling of the iron bell calls the faithful to their knees. You hear the softly spoken magic spell.
Okay, and at the end here, when everything comes back and we're just hearing those simple thirds, it's sort of a trademark sound, right? But then it deviates. So the end here, how they modulate at the end, is that they lead to an unexpected key, the arrival of a key, because it's got to be preparing you for the next track. So we hear the typical thirds, the harmonies. Let's see if we can get some of these.
Far away across the field, the tolling of the iron bell calls the faithful to their knees. You hear the softly spoken magic spell.
So that's where they deviate. So they're, but then they go up here and then like that. And that last key where they end up is a B minor chord all of a sudden. So it's just very creative and very well planned out. And I don't know how much the musicians in the group actually know how to read music or if they're just following their heart and following their ear. But it doesn't matter because they do it so well. But if any of you know out there, know their background and what their training is, let me know, because it is kind of fun to know how they compose their songs and what's put into it. And it can be either way. It can be someone who's completely classically trained and knows all of the music theory, or it can be someone who's just going by what sounds good. As long as it does sound good. That's the point. But it is kind of fun to know what their approach is, just a little bit, if that's what you're interested in. I'm interested in it. Anyway, wow. This just does not disappoint at all as we keep going here. Okay, that was track 3 for Dark Side of the Moon. It's still just this fantastic journey, and we have still so much to go, and I can't wait. This is really, really great. I'm not really diving too much into it, like with some of the music theory, the chords and that sort of thing. But again, I don't want to take away too much of the magic. I don't want to dissect it too much. Just enough just to get a little peek inside of how the minds work of these musicians, but then still be able to sit back and get the feel for the whole thing. And I think I'm able to do that so far. It's really fantastic. How many times have I said the word fantastic in this reaction? Well, it seems to be worth it, so, that's okay. All right, track 4 is next. Which one is that one? I can't remember, but we'll figure that out, and I'm going to go out and listen to this, and we'll be back. So everybody just remember that you don't have to be perfect. Just keep listening for the magic, and be okay. You know what to do.